this computer. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to begin by explaining a few guidelines that I prepared for you. So what I'm, oh, okay, sure. Well, I'm going to share my screen with you. So let me do that really quick. There we are. Okay, so move this to the bottom, and let me move you guys just to the side. There you go. There I can still see you. No, I don't want it here. Okay. All right. So we have, let me go to Google Classroom first. We have a website that I created. I went on the same sort of thing that I did for your projects in the last 2 days. So I've entered in and created a website, which was about the hardest thing that I've ever done with technology. So kudos to you who created a cool website. So here's us. So if you looked at the announcement on Friday, I linked the website as well as the schedule. And when you go to the website, it looks like it's just for English, but it's not. I don't know why I kept putting. So if you go to the menu, you'll find the different classes, and all the way to the bottom, it's you. So this is the page that you'll find. And it really just is links to the major stuff that we're going to be doing. So just a little message. I guess the most important thing is the class plans. And there's this lady holding up a little clipboard with the month. Here's some current events. Here are some videos. I think this is where I'm going to link the YouTube videos. Let me move people. So this is where I'll link the videos for our class meetings. It'll be like a YouTube channel almost. And then college transition, there's some stuff that I'm gonna put in that I'm gonna ask you to read. So if you guys can manually mute yourselves, that way I don't hear myself over in your computers. I don't wanna mute you all because then I have to do it again. So if you could just manually mute yourself, perfect. Okay, so this is where you'll come every day. So if you can, I have a Mac, but if you have a Microsoft computer, I think you should still be able to do it. I'm just trying to get in. So, where's Joshua? Admit. Whoa. Okay, perfect. I think he wanted to get in. So if you want to start it just so it could save, I think you can also do a bookmark in it. So you should be able to save this page because this is the link where you'll get your class plans. So once you're in, you're going to click on the picture, and each picture kind of leads you somewhere. So for the class plans, it leads you here. And this is what we're going to be looking into every day that we meet. And the way I've organized it is I've organized it by weeks. So we have week 1, which is obviously today. And then Thursday, we have week 2, and I've got to complete the rest of the weeks. So I've planned for today. I don't think we're gonna get past this, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of how you can navigate through this little doc. So on this side, we have materials. This is kind of what you'll need for that class day. So if you're ever wondering, okay, I wonder what we're gonna do today, this is what you'll need. And notice the guidelines PowerPoint I've linked. So anything that's blue, you can click on it and it'll take you somewhere. So that's pretty cool because that way you don't need to be kind of frantically searching through Google Classroom, trying to figure out where in the world is this PowerPoint. So I've linked pretty much everything that you need to have. And if I do miss something, it's missing the link, just let me know. Hey, would you mind adding the link to that? That way I can access it easier. So all your materials will be linked when needed. we are going to start doing a discussion board, and it's super easy for those of you who have taken online classes. It's literally, I post the questions, you guys answer, and then you answer to each other's answers. So once in a while, we're going to be doing that as well. Today we're going to do one, but I don't think we're going to get to that. So I have an article that I've linked. We were supposed to read that today, but per my experience of yesterday, none of the plans that I had for the classes came to life because our guidelines took a really long time to explain. So just kind of bracing for that. On this side, you'll find, I didn't put the link today because the link is supposed to be kept private. And this website is obviously open to the public. So I didn't want to put, you know, our link in here. What I will put in here is the class recording link. So the YouTube video that I'll be making. Let's see, somebody's doing something. I think Josh is trying to get in. There it is. Okay. So I'll put the link in here as well as on the website. You'll find multiple ways where you can access things, but that's what the materials are, and I'll be kind of like filling it out as we go. So today we're gonna start here, and just like in regular school, I usually tell you in advance what we're gonna do for the day, so you'll know exactly what we'll do. And of course, this will be modified as we go. So anything that's in yellow highlighter is something you'll do in class, okay? And then anything that is in bold is something you'll do for homework. So like today, you'll do a current event, national news. So I know that most of the stuff that you'll find on the news is about the coronavirus, but I still want you to read something about it. And so I want one current event. There won't be homework every single day because we don't do homework every single day, but sometimes I'll assign homework just for your enrichment. So the first thing that I kind of put in our little activities is the class guidelines. And so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to go to it. And you're all welcome to make a copy of it and just keep it if you want to do it. I'm not making you take notes because it's obviously available for you. So no need to do that. All right, so these are some of the class guidelines that I've made for you. And attendance, super important. I'm almost sure that all of your teachers have already shared this with you, but we are going to be taking attendance. So I'm going to be taking attendance today, actually in a minute when you guys do something else. I'm going to be taking attendance, so please make sure that you do make it to the classes on time. If you are experiencing difficulties because, internet doesn't always want to cooperate, please make sure that you text me to let me know that that's what's going on, and I don't just assume you don't want to join in or whatever. So just always make sure that you check in with me. Just make sure also that your device is connected to power. That way you can avoid some interruptions. And if possible, not always possible, but if you can, connect in a quiet place with your headphones. I don't have my headphones right now, but I think you all can hear me well. So if you had headphones, try to use them. That way you can listen in without interruptions. And then in the website, which I did a little trial in the website, you're over here and I don't want you here. Okay. In the website, if you go there, there's a little chat box. Here, let me move this over here. So there's this little chat box that works. Cheyenne tried it for me and it works. Meaning she sent a message through here and it got right into my phone. So like an instant message for basically. So if you don't have access to a phone where you can reach me and you're trying to reach me, pretty quickly and you need to see me right away, I would say that this is a good way to get it done, because I'll get an instant message versus maybe an email where, I'll check it now and then, but not all the time, like at all times. So this is a good way to reach me. Also, everybody should be on Remind. If you're not on Remind, in our Google Classroom, I posted the, no, it won't take me back. I posted the codes. So hopefully everybody is in there. These are the codes. They're from all my classes. So if you can just kind of reach all the way to the bottom, that's where you guys are at. So hopefully everybody can add themselves to the remind. That way I can make announcements to everybody. But back to the guidelines. So that's in terms of attendance. Who has seen the code of conduct letter? I'm almost sure everybody. Okay, so that means I don't need to go over it yet. But basically, you know, it's the code of decency. Show up. It's okay if you're in your PJs. I don't mind. Or if you're just like you have a top and the bottom is PJs, totally fine. So anything that we share, anything that we speak about, it obviously has to stay school appropriate. You're all high school students and seniors, so I don't really, I don't think I'm gonna have a problem with it. So I linked the letter here, but I also posted it on Google Classroom as a, oh, yes, ma'am. Give me a sec. Unmute yourself, Sierra. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so the code of conduct thing,
Yes.
I was wondering, I don't know how to sign it. I don't know why.
So I'll show you right now how to do it, okay? I was gonna get to that right now. So in our Google Classroom, you go there and it's a post. Where is it? Okay, so I made it an assignment just because you guys can turn it in, and I made a copy for each and every one of you. So all you have to do, so let's look at the people who've turned it in. I think I saw Alice. So what Ale did, if I'm not mistaken, is she downloaded it to her phone because this looks like phone. Am I right, Ale? Is she on? I don't think she's on. Okay, so she's not on. All right, so I think what she did is she downloaded it to her phone and then edited it just like you edit pictures. Are you following, Sierra?
Yeah, I think Dawkins was talking about this like other way where you can just like enter your name.
Yes, there's multiple ways. Does anybody else have a suggestion? Go ahead, Jeremiah.
Miss Rosas?
Yes. Go ahead, Skylar. And then
I can't. I can't do it on my phone.
Got it. Okay, go ahead, Skylar.
I converted mine to Google Docs and then I just typed my name in.
That's correct. So that's another way that I've seen students do it. So, Sierra?
Okay, you have to convert it to Google Docs. Thank you.
Sierra? I think she's on the phone or something. Okay, so here when you go in here, you can open it with Google Docs, sign it, and then just turn it in. That's probably the easiest way. You can also download it to your computer if you can, which most of you have a Chromebook or a computer. So you'll go here and try to download it here. So let's say I want to download it. And it is an editable.
I sent it to you.
You sent it to me? Okay. So if I wanted to sign it here, well, obviously this one's written over, but if I wanted to sign it, I could sign it over here and then just go back and submit it here. If you have submitted through email, if you can kindly submit it here through Google Classroom, it'd be great. That way I can have everybody's paper on one place and I'm not, kind of searching through. Everybody has a copy of it. So I made it be due today around 2. If you're still having trouble, text me. I have kind of like some students waiting for me to give them instructions on how to do it too. So I can include you into that meeting and I can walk you through how to do it. But yeah, so first, for those of you who have a phone, you can download it to your phone, edit it like it was any other picture, upload it back into the drive and submit it to Google Classroom. If you have a Chromebook, click on it, save it. So download it, basically edit it, add your name on it, upload it back in. The other way to do it is to convert it into a Word document, right? Put your name in, like you edit your name in, again, upload it back in. So if you're still having questions, you're still having trouble doing it, again, please contact me. I will walk you through it and hopefully that'll be a success. So that's the code of conduct. Any other questions regarding this little thing? Yes, Jeremiah, go ahead. I think you have to unmute yourself. There it is.
Can I share it with you on the Google Docs?
You can, but I really want it to be turned in here. And to turn it in is really not that hard. This is my screen as a teacher, but all of you guys have a screen here where it says turn in. And if you click on it, it'll bring you to your drive and you literally just do another click and it's super easy. In fact, it's a lot easier than sharing. So if you could do that, that'd be great. That way I'm not looking, because when you guys turn in stuff in other places, I have to go to that place, search for your name, and sometimes it doesn't appear. Like sometimes docs get lost in the whole email. That's the reason why I don't want to lose your papers, basically. So kind of like in real school where you guys all put your homework in the bins. If you put it in my white table, chances are it's gonna fly out at some point and I may lose it. So that's kind of why I want it here. Okay, and if you don't know how to turn stuff in on Google Classroom, I can gladly show you how to do a little later. Is that okay, Jeremiah? Okay, thank you. Perfect. So that's the code of conduct. Let's see my timing, 8:20. Okay, so we're pretty good. All right, so let me close those up and go back to my distance learning. Let me present. Perfect, and then I don't want you here. Okay, do my little pointer. Okay, the work that you were supposed to do is to be turned in. So it was due yesterday, but if you had still trouble trying to turn it in, I'm still accepting it. It won't be late. So what you have to do in it is you go to Google Classroom. Let me escape this part. So you have to go to Google Classroom, and I've created a place in there. So there's a place in there above that post. So here's that post where I kind of showed everybody how to scan documents, either with an iPhone or an Android. On top of that, there is the assignment, and half of you have turned it in and some of you have not. So I really need you guys to turn in your work. Remember, it was the reading for those pages in the habits book. That way I can turn it I can put it in the grade book. So Sierra hasn't turned it in, Jeremiah, Joshua, Ale, Horst, and Rosita. So if you guys could just turn it in. I know Rosita was having tons of trouble with it. Again, I can always call you during that tutorial time, 12:30 to 2. I'll call you and I can walk you through that.
So I
Go
have
ahead.
a question. We were just supposed to send in the notes, right?
Just the notes. Yeah, I don't need anything else.
Okay.
Just the notes. So
My
I
Go ahead.
can't turn it in.
has been really bad, so I don't know.
I don't have the stuff
Hasn't
to
either.
turn.
yeah, so Sierra, all you got to do, Sierra, you have an iPhone?
Yes.
Okay, so
No.
I
I'm
posted
talking to my teacher.
a little kind of how-to in Google Classroom. So let me go back to that. There's a little video that I posted, and I don't want to play it. It won't play. It'll play really quick. It's kind of long, but literally what you do in a Google Classroom, okay, shut up, I don't hear you, is you open the Notes app. So I have an iPhone, so I would open my Notes app, put that in there, right? I would try to create a new note, and then on the camera, Sierra, or everybody else who hasn't been able to do this, you can see there's a little camera icon, right? I would do that, and it gives me the option to scan documents, take a picture, and whatnot. So I would just press on the scan document, put my phone over whatever I want to scan, right? Let's say I want to scan that, and that creates a scan. And all you got to do is save it, and then send it either to your email or send it to the drive if you have, like I have the Google Classroom app right there, and I also have the Drive app. So those apps you need to download in order for them to kind of go into your Drive or your Google Classroom to be attached. So make sure you download those first. And you can always watch this video. If you don't have an iPhone, I also included a video on how to scan stuff in Android. That way I can save. And I also did a little instruction sheet on how to do it. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 and Android. And I did put a little message at the end and said, if everything fails, take a photo, send it to Remind. But that's kind of like your last resort. So go ahead, Ashley.
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. If I may,
Go ahead.
can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
So how I turned in mine is I just went on to Google Classroom because I had the app downloaded on my phone. And when you go to turn in an assignment, there's an option to take a picture. And
Perfect.
you can
Yes.
just take pictures of the assignments and then turn it in that way. So
Very good. That is that's fine. Especially because scans are really just pictures of dogs, and I don't really need a PDF of it. As long as I can see it, you're all good. Now, if you don't have a phone and you don't have well, most of you have a Chromebooks. Raise your hand if your Chromebook has a camera, because I remember seeing that Chromebooks do have a camera. Perfect. So then all you have to do is take a picture, like literally put your paper in, paper nearby me, but literally put a paper in and take a picture with it. Google how to take a picture with Chromebook, and I'm almost positive you'll get a response somewhere in Google. So if it all comes down to
my internet will not allow me to send pictures, only
That's okay.
PDFs. It's that bad.
That's okay. And Horst, you also don't have a phone?
I do, but my phone's internet also is bad.
Doesn't work. Okay, so
The internet on my phone is too bad.
Okay, so this is also the last, and I did tell Jeremiah to also try this one. Can you send it to my address? Can you mail it? This is like the very old way to do things. Is there any mail sort of access that you have?
Yeah, I can probably do that.
Okay, perfect. So then I'll email you separately with my address. And then Jeremiah, you're saying no. So what I'll do with you is I'll call you separately, and then you can just show me your work, like through this thing. Like you'll put it on the screen and I'll just see it, and then we'll call it a day with that. Okay? That way you're not all stressed out about it. Is that okay with you, Jeremiah? Yes? Okay, perfect. All right, so let's move on because we have about 30 minutes. All right, so let me get all the way to your Avid listening. Oh, okay, so one of the changes, go to the means of communication. Here it is. One of the changes that I wanted to do with you guys is obviously we won't have time for tutorials, so we won't really spend any time of the Zoom meetings doing tutorials because as you guys know, we now don't have a Friday for school. So on Fridays, it's kind of the big tutorial day. You can still contact me through there. I'm still available if you need a revise on your essays or you're trying to study for something. Basically use that time to catch up in your homework. And then I had a quick question. Cheyenne, you're still doing online classes for Palomar?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you figured that out already?
Yeah, so my teacher basically just like took 2 weeks worth of work out of the syllabus, and now we're just continuing until the deadline. So nothing changed.
Okay, perfect. All right, now I haven't really heard anything from Mr. Martin in terms of the senior exhibition. So I guess I wanted to ask you guys, what have you heard or if you've asked them already? Go ahead, Jeremiah.
So, he told us that we were going to do the presentations over Zoom
Okay,
and
so you're still,
continue
it's still
working
on.
on them. It's still
Okay,
on.
perfect. All right. So then, and did he give you guys a deadline, or is it still
I think it's still the same deadline.
the same deadline? Okay. All right. So
Sable,
I'll check
when's
in
the
with him
next
and try to
edition?
make sure that I have all the correct information. And then I'll let you guys know, because I did want to go over it with you and help you guys out with that one. So
Yeah, all he told at least me is like, because over the week that we were off or whatever, he like assigned certain days to turn in our stuff, but
got
he
it.
never told us that we were doing it over Zoom. So I don't know.
Not very well. You know what? And we're all pretty uncertain on what's going to happen moving forward, especially because no one really wants to say graduations are canceled. I feel like everybody's being super careful about all that, because we don't want to rob you guys of that experience. I mean, even if it happens in December, I think we still want to make you guys go through the stage, maybe your trips may not be possible, but we're hopeful. So in terms of your prom, have you guys canceled everything on that, Cheyenne? And I ask you because I know you guys have those things.
The juniors put on prom, so I'm not exactly sure if they've canceled it or not. For our trips, I know Pearson was gonna look into it, but I'm pretty sure that like Disneyland is canceled no matter what because they shut down for the rest of the school year. Catalina, we probably can't go because of the ferries.
Okay.
So basically all of our like class things are pretty much canceled already unless like things open up all of a sudden.
Okay.
But for prom, I'm not sure because the juniors put that on.
Got it. Okay. Well, I really am not sure. We have kind of conflicting messages from president and from governor. So what I have seen through news is that at least in places where death toll and infection was pretty high in the past months, it took about 3 to 4 months for the peak to kind of slow down. So Italy has seen some slowdown in those months. Let's see, is there anybody? Okay. And so, we kind of started late March, and then through April, it can be assumed that we'll go through this through May, maybe some of June. So that's kind of where it'll stop. And have in mind that the outbreaks in the US have been pretty big. So I wouldn't assure, but for sure in the terms of the academics, if it's still going, then I want to offer you guys help. Okay, so how do you communicate with me? Remind, you can do the little box on the website. Here's my email. Everybody should have it, or it's on the Google Classroom thing. Zoom. Has anybody hosted a meeting through Zoom or requested meetings through Zoom? No. Okay. So let me show you really quick. Whoa. That's none of you guys, okay? I can't escape. There it is. Okay. So in the Zoom app, and I'm really hoping it won't. Okay, so let me go to the actual website. So you go to zoom.us, and there's a link to it underneath it. Like if you just click on it on the website, it'll take you to that. And then, have you guys all made accounts on it? No? Okay, you don't need an account to access, but it really helps out if you do, just because you can request your teachers for meetings without texting them first and whatnot. So if you go to zoom.us, right, you'll go into your account, and we have a licensed account, so it's a little different. You click on schedule a new meeting, right? So I have all of you guys here, like, and it even has a little green button because it's going on. After you guys, I have Honors English, and there's my little schedule already filled up. So you go here to schedule a meeting. You can title it whatever you want. Doesn't really need anything. And then you put the date here. And if it's a recurring meeting, like something that happens once a week or twice a week, you can do that. It'll kind of give you an ID or personal ID and a password. And we are wanting passwords because the Zoom bombing thing. So you do that, you schedule it, and then all you got to do is share it with your contacts. So I don't know if I can see my contacts in here. Yeah, I don't think I can see them. Okay, so I can't see my contacts, but pretty much I have all of you guys from school, and I can always reach you through here. And you can reach me. So if you want to schedule a meeting with me, all you got to do is invite me to it. And if I'm not mistaken, you invite people through here, or you copy the link as well. So I'll leave that for now. Okay, so not much is going to change for our class. We're still going to meet here Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're still going to do readings. We're still going to do a few more projects. I really want to help you guys with your presentations and all the stuff that you have to do for the senior exhibition. So that's kind of where we are geared. Let me, okay, I think it keeps, let me see. Okay, I think it keeps kicking her out. All right, so that's gonna be our, let's have a chat. Okay, Joss is, okay, perfect, thank you. All right, so that's gonna be our guidelines. Are there any questions so far on what we're gonna be doing through this 2 months? 2 months, yes. Questions? No, everything's clear? Perfect. All right, so as I had said, you're gonna go here. So I'm gonna ask you guys to go to Google Classroom. So in your computers, go ahead and go to Google Classroom. Google Classroom, there it is. Okay, and then I'm going to create, I had these to post for you guys. Post. Perfect. Okay, so here are some of the materials that we'll work on for this week. But before we get to that, let me do a question. Let me create an assignment. So we're gonna do a little quick write. I have about 20 minutes. Okay, and since we had been talking about, it's so funny, we started talking about mental health, we started talking about tragedies, and then this whole thing happened. It was, I feel bad because I'm like, oh man, I feel like I jinxed it. But you know, we all didn't really know what was going on. So it seemed to be, the timing seemed to be pretty crazy. So I'm gonna ask you, how have you handled this crisis? So just a little personal insight. Have you handled this crisis? How has your family worked to overcome these times? Now, if there's something that you don't want to speak about, you know, obviously I'm not going to force you to do anything. So what you want to do, and I'm going to put 25 points in here. There's the assignment. Okay, so when you guys go here and you try to turn it in, just do it on a Google Doc, and that way I'll read your quick writes as I go. And this is the way that we're pretty much gonna be working through our stuff for the week. So go ahead and do that right now, and I'll give you guys about 10 minutes, almost till the end of class. That way we can discuss it a little later. So go ahead and do that. I'm gonna grab my coffee if you guys don't mind, because I haven't had coffee. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll do a little discussion on Stop the video right there. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna take out the sharing for a second. Stop.